Hi, it's Kurt from City Campus, and welcome to our week of devotion time. In the morning, we're talking about fear this week. Of course, it's a tricky week, and I think probably maybe a tricky week of many tricky weeks to come. So just come here in the morning at 8 o'clock, and you'll get a short devotion time. And this week, we're talking about fear. And we've kind of been going across two acronyms. So let's go to our little slideshow and then we can discuss it just a little bit more. So we've been talking about fear. And when we talk about fear, it's always dangerous and always scary. And so as we've been kind of going through fear, we've been talking about these two acronyms about fear: false evidence appearing real, and faith exposing the attacks of a real enemy. And today we're going to be talking about evidence and exposes. Now, evidence is, in this particular example, false evidence, right? And false evidence was used against Jesus. False evidence was used against him. The one I quote here is from Matthew 26:59. This is when Jesus was before the Sanhedrin. And it says, inside the leading priests and entire high council were trying to find witnesses who would lie about Jesus so they could put him to death. It's from Matthew 26:59. And they were simply trying to find this false evidence because they were afraid of what Jesus could and would do. And they did, of course, eventually put him to death for our sins. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But I just do want you to know that in terms of evidence, there is real evidence for Jesus, and there's plenty of it. But I brought one to light here that in Acts 2:23, Peter and the apostles are standing up telling the story of Jesus, maybe for the first time to people outside their relatively small group. And they said, God raised Jesus from the dead, and we are all witnesses of this. So everyone who was speaking that day, at least 11 apostles, maybe more people, made that statement. And they continued to make that statement through the New Testament, and we still have their evidence, their eyewitness statements today. So let's go on and talk about exposes a little bit. And I want to say that faith is always exposing the fear of doubt. And I picked up probably a familiar passage to remind you of that. As much fear as you might have this week, let your faith push that away and help you with that. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I'll not be afraid, for you're close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me, from Psalm 23, verse 4, in the New Living Translation. Now, of course, you can go and read that whole thing. Probably a good passage to read for these weeks of doubt and fear. And so that's what we're kind of talking about today. We talk about evidence and exposing. Let's remember our theme verse this week. Revelation 1:17. Let me move myself out of the way a little bit here. There we go. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as if I were dead, but he laid his right hand on me and said, don't be afraid. I'm the first and the last. Fear not. And I hope you won't fear not this week. So I'm praying for you. Be praying for me and for our church as we go on this week. And we'll talk to you later. You'll have plenty of news right here at City Campus, Jeff. And just check in from time to time. We love you. Talk to you later. Bye.